How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. And so I am going to be responding to comments um, on the channel. So if you posted a comment, your comment might be replied to in this video. And if you guys want to see more videos like this where I come on and actually respond to these, then yeah, definitely let me know in the comments and hit the like button too as well. And that definitely helps out the channel for sure. So like I said, I'll be responding to comments. I have a couple that I'm going to address here and literally just talk about. So anyways, yeah, I figure I would do something like this, just to at least for other people, just to kind of understand where my mind, my thought process is and everything. So yeah, anyways, yeah, so let's go ahead and just kind of like dive in. So the first one I'm going to be responding to is from Jonathan Peralta, and this was on my video reaction to B Tech review. So if you guys want to check out that video, go ahead and check it out. But yeah, he says, would you recommend going from the Pixel 9 Pro XL to the 10 Pro XL, or it isn't really an upgrade? And really, when it comes down to people deciding should they upgrade, should they not upgrade, that's entirely up to you, Jonathan. I will say this though, when you look at the Pixel 9 Pro XL specifications and you look at the Pixel 10 Pro XL, there's not a giant leap. Only in one area does it even consider that. And most people will tell you performance-wise, you're not going to see a gigantic difference, and that has to do with the Tensor G4 versus the Tensor G5. The Tensor G5 processor is a processor that's not built by the Samsung Foundry. It's actually built by TSMC. And so a lot of people had high hopes and maybe like a really big, recognized difference in performance, but there really isn't. So, if you're asking, would I upgrade from the Pixel 9 Pro XL to the 10 Pro XL? My answer is going to be no. I wouldn't do it just because they're too close in performance. They're only a year apart, and you can still get more life out of your 9 Pro XL. And I'm on this new journey now where it's like, I'm not going to advise people to jump to every new generation of smartphone. To me, that just doesn't make sense to just tell people spend your money. But if you feel inclined, regardless of what I say or what anyone else says, to upgrade, then it wouldn't be that bad of an upgrade to go to it. But I would just say, for all the better reasons, you're pretty good with your 9 Pro XL. So I would just stick with it. So I got one from Lee Keller, who says, how was Android 17 beta? Was it bad or good? So let me tell you this, Lee. Android 17 is not a drastic user interface upgrade, okay? There are some things behind the scenes that has happened with Android 17, and that there are more features to come, as we're only in beta 2. Beta 3 hasn't come out yet, which is, people have this expectation because, Android 17 beta 1 came out, and then not long after that, beta 2 came out. But you gotta remember that the beta development team releases a new version of the beta once they've had, a good amount of bug reports in the Android feedback given to them, in order for them to say, okay, you know what, we got some bugs, we need to fix it, and then they go in and they fix it. So beta 2 seems to be, feels stable. I'm not gonna say it is stable because other people have gotten bugs from it, so I'm not entirely sure what types of bugs they're experiencing. But in my experience on the Pixel 7, on the Pixel 6, and even on the Pixel 9a at a point in time, I haven't really had any bug issues at all whatsoever. Right before that, I took Android 17 off the 7a. I can tell you that the themes, the new theming thing that Android has, wasn't working properly. Like, you would select a theme and it would download the theme, but then when you would hit to apply the theme to the Pixel UI, it would not apply it. So that was probably one bug issue that I can say I experienced. That's not really that big of an issue because it's not, it's just a theme, right? It's just visual aesthetics, nothing absolutely detrimental to the performance, navigation, or functionality of Android 17 as a whole. So for the most part, it was pretty good. And we'll have to see when Android 17 Beta 3 comes out exactly what are they going to change from the user interface skin. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see. Ed Gerard 29. If I butchered your name, I apologize. Says just picked one up. Good device. Only problem that'll come up is the battery life, but that's an inexpensive and fairly quick swap. Galaxy S21 in 2026 video that I dropped. And yeah, the Galaxy S21, for the most part, has been a very good phone, and I still enjoy using it. I take my secondary SIM, I pop it in there, and I take it with me and I use it. The cameras are really good. Video recording on it is really good. I like the video recording on the Galaxy S21, and I do have a Galaxy S22, and the video recording on that is a little bit more better. But for the most part, the Galaxy S21 has great battery life compared to my Galaxy S22. And so, I don't mind it being on One UI 7 because there's not really a drastic difference between One UI 7 and One UI 8. Other than the fact that One UI 8 is Android 16 based and One UI 7 is Android 15 based. But Android 15 is really not that old. It's about to become 2 years old once Android 17 releases. But even then, you're still able to get some good functionality out of the Galaxy S21. There are people who are still using, Android 11 and prefer to use that. Of course, that's a bit outdated, but I mean, yeah. So, good option. We got one from, I guess it's supposed to be Abstract, but they use a 4 instead of the letter A. And Abstract says, dropped in a new battery in my Pixel 5, runs like a champ. Yes, the Pixel 5 is still a very capable phone today, and I do have a custom ROM installed on mine, so it just breathes a new life, right? And shout out to the Evolution X team for continuing developing a custom ROM for the, basically just for the Pixel 5. Only thing I wish that the display didn't cost so much to replace. My Pixel 5 has a cracked display, and it's still $239 to replace that display. But obviously, it's because of the technology with the display. Since there's not an upper top speaker on most phones, the Pixel 5 doesn't have that. It actually, the speaker's underneath the display. It uses vibrations when you have it pressed against your ear in order for you to hear sound on a phone call. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, Pixel 5 definitely still worth getting. And you know what? It's one of the coolest pocketable Pixels that I would say I would recommend. If people want to use it. Very first Pixel to introduce 5G technology to Pixel users. So there's a lot of good stuff about it. 5 generation old, half the time of the life of Pixels. So, I can definitely use it as a secondary device along with my Pixel 10 and then Pixel 5. So big thumbs up there. And then the last one that I'm going to be responding to is from Titus Wilkin. And he says, so you don't like Android 17? No, it wasn't. That's not the reason why that I downgraded the Pixel 7a away from Android 17. It was just that I was doing a review, and when I do a review, I want to be able to present something that mostly everyone with the Pixel 7a is using. Android 17 is not something that they're using. So if I did run into an issue during, the whole point of me using the phone before recording the video of the update review, I didn't want to run into issues that, people would be like, I haven't experienced that issue at all whatsoever. And then, they were just freaking out about it. It's not something that was going to be that they would deal with because of the fact that, it's on Android 17. So that's why I downgraded it. Android 17 doesn't change things visually, but there is reasons why we have these software updates, these jumps in chapters, because there are things behind the scenes and features that they bring that you definitely want your device to be able to take advantage of if your device can run those features. And so that's the whole reason behind it. But Android 17 is not bad. I don't dislike it, for the most part. And we don't even have full Android 17 out yet. Beta 1 and Beta 2 really doesn't start to show a lot of any type of noticeable changes. It's usually in Beta 3, and when it gets to a stable side is where you really start to see a lot of those features implemented and those changes in effect. So that's pretty much that. So no, I don't hate Android 17. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed what I had to say and responding to comments, hit the like button. And then if you want your comment featured, let me know when you post your comment that you would also like it answered visually on a video, and I will mark it for a future video of doing this. I'm not gonna be doing these every week. It's like, you know, maybe every couple of weeks or so. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one and the reaction videos that I've been doing lately. If you guys enjoyed those, hit the like button on those videos too as well. More videos coming your guys' way. Thanks for checking it out. I'll talk to you on the next one. And as always, aloha.